All right, everyone, the TWAB just came out and we have our artifact perks here. I definitely want to go over this because I'm very excited for the build crafting potential in Final Shape. And as you see, this is going to be focused on Solar Void and Arc, which is cool. It also is going to be focused on melee and swords and long range weapons like sniper rifles. And starting off, this is what it looks like. It looks pretty sick. We have a bunch of little, like, I guess, Easter eggy kind of things here with the Jade Rabbit. We have Ace of Spades over here. This almost looks like a strange coin, kind of. But in the first column, this is just going to be our champion mods: Anti-Barrier Pulse, Unstoppable Sidearm, which is funny, Unstoppable Scout Rifle, Overload Hand Cannon, and Anti-Barrier Submachine Gun. So some pretty decent options there. I mean, submachine guns, hand cannons, all those are very beloved weapons. Scout Rifles, obviously, they also are pretty good. So next up, we have column 2. So Logic Reductor. Weapons with the Radiolaria Transposer origin trait deals increased damage to Vex, extends the duration of Radiolaria pools created by Radiolaria Transposer. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. This is kind of like the buff the origin trait type perk, but this is actually just going to give you more damage to Vex. This is definitely the seasonal origin trait, and it also seems that you're going to make Radiolaria pools, which could be very, very good for an origin trait, so we'll see how that works. But Overcharge Armor. Weapons with the dealer's choice, Radiolaria Transposer, Collective Purpose, and Sundering origin traits are always overcharged weapons for you when that modifier is active. Okay, so again, just another one of those. If you have these weapons equipped, they'll become overload, so that's pretty cool. Now, Authorized Element Charge. The energy costs of elemental charge mods are significantly discounted. So this is interesting because elemental charge is the one where you pick up the fire sprites or tangles, stuff like that. You get a armor charge. This is mods specifically, so are they added new mods, or am I just missing something here? I mean, I guess maybe new mods, which is cool, but even though, I mean, elemental charge having reduced costs, I guess is decent. Not a lot of people run this anyway, but I mean, I guess it's kind of a nice little buff. Saint's Inspiration. Rounds loaded by the Cast No Shadows origin perk can overflow the magazine. So they're really heavily playing into buffing these origin traits up, whereas like normally they're just kind of like, oh, they just have improved benefits. They're really like, you're going to get an improved magazine now. That's pretty sick. The next up is Winning Hand. So while using weapons with the dealer's choice origin trait, so this is definitely the Pelheart weapons with all, the cards and stuff. Combatants' precision final blows are rapidly defeating combatants, cause the target to explode, dealing solar damage to nearby enemies. Having several equipped weapons with the dealer's choice origin trait increases the effect of the explosion. Okay, so they pretty much just gave all those weapons Firefly in a way. That's actually pretty sick. I like the way they're going with this, and this may be a play to actually use some of the new weapons just so you can take advantage of some of these perks. Now, up here at the top, next up, we have Elemental Siphon. So rapid final blows to the kinetic weapon or a weapon matching your equipped super. Create an elemental pickup that matches your equipped super. Okay, that's actually pretty sick. I mean, kinetic weapons is now going to have way to form elemental pickups, and just more elemental pickups for your subclass now. Overload Sword, I don't really think we need to go over that one, but Overload Sword is pretty cool. Creeping Chill, stasis weapon final blows against slowed or frozen targets, or release a burst that slows. That's pretty sick. I mean, something like a Choke Club weapon is just going to do even more slow now. On top of that, if you freeze enemies, it will also do it, and with the stasis buffs coming, I think this could potentially be pretty strong. Next up is Press the Advantage. Breaking the combatant's shield grants increased weapon stability, handling, and reload speed. Swords gain increased guard resistance. This can be pretty good just as like a little passive thing to take to get more reload speed. I don't foresee this being too crazy. I don't know if you want to waste one of your points on this, but I mean, having that increased reload speed, I guess, is nice. Next up is Threaded Blast. Destroying a tangle with a strand weapon creates a larger, more damaging explosion. So that is going to be very good, specifically for strand builds, something like the Wander or anything like that. This could increase the size of Whirling Maelstrom. That would also be sick. Not really sure how that's going to work, but I mean, that's going to be pretty good. Now, the fourth column, now this is where things start to get crazy. We're going to get the good ones here. Column 4 and 5 always go crazy. Counter Energy. When you or a member of your fire team stuns a champion, you gain energy for your least charge ability. Okay, we've seen that one before. That's just a nice little thing to have. Stun a champion, get some energy back. That's, again, kind of a little passive one, just throw in there. It's pretty good. Now, next up is Blade Stamina. Rapidly defeating combatants with a sword, refund some ammo. Okay, that actually could be pretty good. We're going to have like an added clear sword, maybe. Pairing that with something like Relentless Strikes. You could just have ammo for days. Next up is Void Hegemony. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but while you have a Void or Prismatic subclass equipped, defeating weakened targets provides a small overshield. Okay, that could be pretty strong with something like Buried Bloodline. I mean, obviously, weaken enemies on something like Void Hunter. That's going to be pretty good. You get a little overshield. Again, another little past benefit thing to have if you are playing Void. Next up is Radiant Orbs. While you have a Solar Super or Prismatic subclass equipped, picking up an Orb of Power makes you Radiant. Okay, well, that's going to be gross, because with Prismatic, there's a fragment that when you pick up an Orb, you get Restoration if you have a Solar subclass equipped, or a Solar Super, excuse me. Now you're going to get Radiant and Restoration. I mean, this is going to be stupid. This is going to be so good. What we were doing this season, we're having Infinite Radiant. You can just do this again now with your solar weapons. Like, that's going to be crazy. Then Galvanic Armor. So while you have an Arc or Prismatic subclass equipped, incoming damage from combatants is reduced while amplified. That is disgusting. Okay, dude, bro, Arc is about to go crazy too. You're going to get damage resistance now. This was kind of a one, I think, back in Season of the Deep. It was very, very strong back then. They did rework it a little bit to work with Prismatic now. So yeah, that's going to be very, very good. And then next up is Prismatic Transfer. When you cast your super, each member of your fire team with a super type different than yours gains a bonus to weapon damage. So that could be pretty good. Depending on the weapon damage bonus, this could be pretty interesting to play into. This could potentially be a strat for something like Day 1. Everybody runs a different super. You can have like a Needlestorm Warlock, a Golden Gun Hunter. You could even run the Void Titan now. So you all have DPS supers, which are all also providing a damage increase to everyone. That could be pretty good. Argent Blade. So while you have an armor charge, dealing damage with a sword consumes an armor charge and empowers your sword for a short time, granting it bonus damage and energy charge rate. We've seen this before with the old mod system. I mean, this is going to be pretty good, again, depending on the charge rate and damage. If you do pair that with the older one where you get ammo back, I mean, swords could potentially be very, very good this season. Very excited to try that out. But then Expanding Abyss. So Void sources deal increased damage to weakened targets. That could also be pretty good. Something like Nova Bomb. You can weaken enemy with a grenade, throw a Nova Bomb, and now your Void's going to do more damage. If you're already playing into Void on something like Hunter, you're already weakening enemies, you're just going to do more damage to them. Again, we'll have to see how much damage it does, but I mean, you're already getting the 15% for the weaken, and now you're just getting more if you are using a Void weapon, so that's pretty solid. Now, next up is Shield Crush. While you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Void Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. While you have Amplified or Radiant, your grenades recharge faster and deals increased damage. Okay, well, GG's. We found the broken one. We found the broken one. This is the one you're going to want. Holy, this seems stupid. So, Woven Mail, I mean, obviously for Titan, Strand Titan, you're going to do more damage with the new Titan Exotic as well. I mean, this is just going to be disgusting. Like, you're just going to do so much melee damage. But I mean, the other one, while you're amplified, you're going to get grenade recharge rate for, Arc Titan, or, I mean, even Arc Warlock, stuff like that. That's going to be so good. Radiant, you pick an orb up, you're going to get Radiant. Now your grenades are going to recharge faster, and they're going to do more damage. That is going to be disgusting for some solar builds, namely something like Solar Warlock is just going to go crazy. Shocker again, but hopefully we can use a new super this time instead of Will of Radiance. This is going to be disgusting. It seems to me that our other builds are also going to be so strong. It's not just going to be Prismatic. That's the craziest thing. I mean, with stuff like this is just going to be gross. And the craziest thing is, since you have multiple ways now with Prismatic to get all of these verbs, you could potentially have both of these applied to you at all times. So you could always have Void Overshield, you could always have Radiant, and you're just going to have more melee damage and more grenade damage and recharge rate just 24/7. That is going to be disgustingly strong. Now, next up is Transference. Gain increased grenade and melee damage while Transcendent. Weapon final blows while Transcendent. Refund light and dark energy after Transcendence ends. So if I'm reading this correctly, this also seems like it's going to be extremely broken. Not only are you going to get the grenade and melee damage paired with Shield Crush, but on top of that, the way this seems is that if you have Transcendence procced, you're going to be able to get kills with weapons. Cool. I mean, obviously you want to throw your abilities too, but if you get weapon kills on Transcendence, it's going to basically just refund energy. Kind of like how Orpheus Rig does, where you throw your super, you're going to get refunded energy. I think this is how it's reading. You're just going to get kills on Transcendent. It's going to refund the light and dark bars so you can pop Transcendence faster. That is also going to be disgusting. These artifact perks, you're definitely going to want these for the day one raid. Like, these seem crazy into build crafting. I mean, having damage reduction, being able to get Radiant on an orb pickup, having Void Overshields, doing more damage to weakened targets. For our Void Arc Solar builds, they're about to go crazy. Solar Warlock is about to be absolutely disgusting. I mean, Prismatic builds are about to be disgusting. Unfortunately, Arc really didn't get too much other than just the damage resistant thing here. And plus, like, I mean, the other stuff that also just benefits. I mean, getting the grenade recharge rate plus damage reduction. I mean, that is also going to go crazy for, again, Arc Warlock, Arc Titan, I mean, even Arc Hunter too, bro. It's all going to be so good. I'm very, very excited to test all these out. I probably will have like an in-depth video going out testing all the percentages and everything. I'll try to get that out as fast as possible because I will try to get this artifact unlocked as fast as possible. There's going to be so much content coming out for Final Shape. I really hope you all are excited as much as I am. I hope you all stick around to see all the content. I have so many build ideas, especially with these now, with Prismatic, everything. There's going to be so much content on the channel. Anyway, though, let me know what you all think about this artifact perk. I think it's going to be crazy good. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.